Finally made it to the horse ranch. Pretty cool little spot. It's awesome, huh? How you doing, Melina? Well, Element starts this morning, or this afternoon at 3. Girls are still sleeping. It's almost 7 a.m. Time for coffee. Alright guys, got shore lunch today. Back at the sit spot behind the truck. It's about 2 o'clock. I think things are supposed to kick off about 3. Here's our tree.
Maybe use this one. I think because your bottom down.
Now that is one massive beast.
I'll come around and pour a little bit in your rag. I just don't want it to drip on the table and everybody else. And then you're going to take your rag that's in your hand and wipe it on your bow like that. Okay? You turn your bow around, wipe it on that side, and now you're going to rub it in. And you're going to rub it in your hand.
So we're having pancakes this morning, so making some elderberry flower syrup. Basically just elderberry flowers, cup of sugar, cup of water. Let it cook down, thicken up, to get on the pancakes.
Light up in Montana, who's a gringo who makes pretty good native Indian flutes, and this is a style with the cedar. You might know for us how they came about to using the cedar and two halves putting together and carving and doing these
This is really the line you'll be using. We'll ignore this line from here on out.
One more thing that you can use is mugwort. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring over some mugwort so everybody can see what that is. So you take the leaves from the mugwort and rub them together in your hand, and they turn into this basically a primitive cotton ball.
When they're wet.
No, when they're dry. When they're totally dry. So then you've got this primitive cotton ball, and you put your pole onto that. This tail right underneath the center of the X. And pull that. So now if I need to tighten it, I just do this. If I need to loosen it, I just do this. Which is super useful. Like, this is nylon cord stretches. So you're going to need to probably adjust these so that I can get this going very quickly, which is different from what you'll see if you watch the typical YouTube video on fire making, which is predominantly white guys in their backyard, and they're doing this and sweating profusely. And after 20 minutes of video, they're like, oh, we didn't quite get it, but we'll try again.
Another take.
Next video. And then they post it. I don't get that. But anyway, yeah. If you flex your hands like this and you try to do it like so many, number one is it brings these bones tight up against the surface, and you end up bruising these bones, and they hurt. So you've got a little bit of that going on, which
from yesterday, just a little bit of swelling. I made it for about an hour. Back and forth.
so this is, we want to be like Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee is like, be like water. So you want to be like water. You want to be relaxed, totally relaxed, and yet strong. Now I'm going to do a floating technique here. The floating technique, essentially, I'll accentuate it. You have your hands in a V. You go across, recover, pass, recover, pass, recover, always back up to that V, and I'm off the spindle. So I'm climbing up the spindle, and in practical terms, I'm keeping my hands in one spot because I'm climbing at the same rate that my hands are sliding down from this downward pressure. What you're going to experience if you first start doing this, it's kind of hard to get the floating technique down right off the bat. So your hands will slide down. When they slide down, just bring your hands up quickly. Of course, you lose a little bit of heat that way.
Try not to leave the socket.
Yeah. So there's coal. Do you want to demonstrate bow drill? Or should I do it?
Since I would rather actually film you doing it.
You're recording, all right. Here, and we'll see how long that goes for. All of the survival books, they're like, quickly put it into the tinder bundle, and that's not true. You go quickly, and you have a tiny little ember sometimes, but you have this big pile of wood dust. If you're a little patient, that coal will extend to encompass that entire bundle of wood dust. Is resisting gravity like this, and because it's so hard to do that, the densest part of the trees is always going to be the branches, the highest BTUs, and generally the least useful for making a fire. So a good rule of thumb is use your thumb, and if you can dig your thumbnail into it, then it might be soft enough to be able to get a coal out of it. The trunk is going to be a little less dense than the branches, and then the softest is going to be the roots, because its function is primarily as a sponge. So a lot of trees, a lot of woods that it's like, I can't make it work, try the root, and then it might. Okay, let's try this again. So I'm not pushing down with all my strength, just enough that I'm pushing down some, keeping it from popping out, heating up the sets, filling up that notch, using the whole length of the bow.
This fresh smell of bow drill in the morning.
There's another coal. So notice I haven't moved my foot yet. When the coal is tiny, you want to be real careful around it. Move carefully and don't knock it around. Receptive feminine earth, and kind of like a good relationship, if you have good chemistry, you work well together, sometimes you produce a child. And this child then is carefully nurtured as a living being until it grows up big enough to give back to the community. So I'm going to extend or spread this coal here this way, because the air around me has more oxygen and less moisture than my breath. So I always like to start out this way. Sometimes if I have to give it a little push at the end, I'll blow into it. I've also watched people when they're blowing on it. I've seen them blow a coal straight through out the other side. So this is more reliable. And there we go. There's our fire.
Oh, oh.
See, does it rattle shit?
No, we're going to let this one go.
Yeah, you said very carefully, can you be more specific?
Please welcome to the stage Mr. Sean Critchfield. So much more than just a wilderness outdoors teacher. He's a very talented actor and voiceover actor. And he's a very, very convincing spoken word artist. Let's see what he's got for us tonight, Elements.
What you got, Sean?
My mother always told me, son, if you ever become a rock star, don't smash the guitar. You see, there's too many poor kids out there and they see that and all they want to do is play that thing, and boy, you better let them play. All right, if Mom ever starts in on one of these lectures, your best bet is to pull up a chair, Chief, because Mama, she don't deal in the abridged versions. She worries about me so much that sometimes it's like watching windshield wipers on high speed during a light sprinkle, and I gotta tell her, Mom, you're making me nervous. She was born to be laid back, y'all, but some of us are brought up in households where carefree is a stick of gum, and the only option for getting out is to walk faster. The woman can run. In high heels. Backwards. While simultaneously double-checking my homework, bursting my bubble, rolling enough coin to make sure that I have lunch money, and preparing for a meeting on her only day off so she can tell Mrs. Goss, my music teacher, if you ever touch my boy again, big lady, I'm about to hammer off your skull. I remember her doing these things swiftly and with a smile in thrift store business suits, just bright and distinguished enough to hide 30 years of trucker scars coursing through her soul. You know, some accidents you don't need to see, Rubbernecker. She made it. She's alive and she's famous. We can stretch Van Gogh paintings from Seattle, Washington to Binghamton, New York, and never capture the brilliant brushstrokes it takes to be a single mother, sacrificing the best part of her youth to raise a baby boy who on most days she probably wants to strangle. We disagree a lot. For instance, Mom still thinks that it's okay to keep a conversation running at 6 in the morning, where I don't think it's 6 in the morning. See, with Mama, we both agree that love, y'all. You see, now that makes no mistakes. So at the end of the day, when I'm winding down and she's winding down and I'm still writing books about how to get comfortable in the skin that she gave me, it's then that I see rock stars on stages smashing guitars, and I want to sit them down, get them a snack, and introduce them to daylight. This is my mother, Teresa B. Olson, runner of the tight shift, taker of the temperature, leaver of the light on, lover of the underdog, winner of the mountain, keeper of the hope chest, guitar repair woman. And I am her son. You see, I play a tricked out electric pen that's brought to you by the makers of music and metaphor, and I try to use a padded microphone so that I can keep my words in check, because I don't want to hurt you. You see, sometimes I smash things. Yeah, but I don't ever want to let her down. Thank you, Elements.
got a fish? Yeah, absolutely. Whoa, that's a nice one.
No, hold it up.
Did what? You put butter in it?
And put salt and pepper on, and we roasted it over the grill.
Nice, right over the grill, huh? Oh, stabbed it. Awesome, man.
Our world is big and our world is small right now. There are so many of us and there are so many different kinds of us. So much
Robert, maybe you could talk to us about we have 3 people. Or,
people that understand that when they come into this world, they don't have any judgment. They don't have any racism. They don't have any separation that they see when they look. They just see somebody to play with. Let's make sure we don't put any.
you guys are just playing. And he's been able to see that a lot of pots are made that way. So once, okay, so I get to my end. That's your response to this call. Use a knife and try to. Usually I'll try to.
Okay. Yesterday, the medicine maker class was no remedy. We need the bottle. This is for everybody.